Right. I think I'm back. What a palaver. I don't know if nobody persevered, I'm sure. Let me go onto Facebook and let you know there. What a palaver. Well, there's 3 of you still there. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can see and hear me. I'm just going to try and put a note onto Facebook because I've only been able to get live back onto YouTube. Can you hear me, though? Oh, I am back, Jane. Nicola, Adele, will you do me a huge favour, lovely? Will you put a message on Facebook because I couldn't get it to go live on both platforms this time around, so anybody on Facebook won't see me and may wonder where the heck I went. So if they want to jump onto YouTube, I think I'm on here now. I've had to call Steve. He's walking the dog and try and do it all remotely. So hopefully I'm nervous. I'm nervous now. I saw Georgina's comment. Yes, I think it was sabotage. You're right, Georgina. It made me laugh. It did make me laugh. So I'm really sorry about that, everybody. Hopefully some of you are still here. I'm going to turn the camera around again. Oof. Honestly, I'm not sweating. Right. You can hear and see me. I'm back. I'm going to turn the camera around. Maybe that's what did it last time. Let's see what. Thank you, everyone, for persevering. Hi, Jess. Didn't see you before. And Sarah. Right, I'm turning it around. Lord love us. Right. That was it. What did I say? What did I say? Thank you, Therese. I do need to take a breath. Oof, where's that gin when you need it? What I was going to say before all that kerfuffle was that my plan for tonight's giveaway is to give 2 of these calendars away. So for those of you who are live still with me, survivors of my crash, then if Ali has managed to tune back in, then we will pick 2 people who've commented on tonight's live. We will also, Ali, if you're on and can see and hear, it'd be good to go back and look at comments from before we crashed as well, because obviously there'll be lots of people who don't come back and will have given up, and obviously I didn't want them to be out and not have a chance of winning one of these calendars. So we'll give away 2 calendars. Goodness me, it's not good for your blood pressure, is it? So what I wanted to just also share with you is I've got a headliner on Create and Craft next Tuesday. Now, because it's nearly a week away, I don't want to show you too much too soon, if that makes sense. My plan is to record a little flick through the whole collection, because it's an amazing collection from our Olga. I'm going to record something on Friday with a little demo, and I'm going to post it at the weekend. And when I post it, obviously, I'll let you all know that it's on YouTube and available to view. And for the comments left under that post, where we have where we go through the amazing products, then if you leave a comment under that particular video, then I will be giving away 2 of this full collection. This is only a very tiny part of the whole collection, and I'll be giving 2 of those away and announcing the winners of that on Monday. So I didn't want to it was your fault, Therese. I'm blaming you. I blamed Mr. G already, but he's out of the building, so he's taking no responsibility. So yes. So back to my train of thought. So yeah, we'll do I'll do a pre-record, flip through the whole collection, show some of the amazing samples, and you'll have the chance to comment under that for to be in the chance of winning Turn It Up, which is our new collection that will be going live on Create and Craft on Tuesday next week, and it is amazing. So all I wanted to do here was just show you a few little bits to give you an idea of what the concept was behind this collection that Olga's put together for us. I will say she did it with nudging on my part, because I really, really wanted this collection. So she's done an amazing job with it. Hiya, Kathy. Are you enjoying your holiday, lovely? I know, it's a shame because Jane, sorry, I'm saying I'm going to miss Jane by a day, because Jane will be down at Create and Craft with Erica on the Wednesday for the launch of Erica's collection. So I'm going to miss them by a day. It's a shame. So this is a really cool kind of retro music, rock music, kind of 80s vibe. Oh, Ali, you're just trying to catch up with me, sweetheart. So what I'm saying, Ali, is that 2 people will win the calendar, the 2025 calendar from tonight's live. And do have a check back on comments left before we crashed, because obviously not everyone will be able to rejoin us. So there'll be 2 calendars we give away tonight. And then I will pick 2 people to receive this new collection from comments that they leave on the YouTube video that I post at the weekend, because I'm not going to do a full run through of the whole collection tonight. I want people to come back and watch and see what else we have coming up next week. So you're back, Karen. Oh, honest to goodness. I feel like I need to speak even faster just in case it cuts me out again. So the reason behind this collection is Mr. G is an avid record collector, and somehow he's managed to get my youngest son Jack, who's just turned 19, which is very rude, into vinyl as well. So we bought Jack a record player for his birthday this week. So really, this is a celebration of all those people who love the kind of cassette tapes and the stereos and just everything, all the paraphernalia of kind of collecting and enjoying music. And honestly, this is super, super cool. I have as well an amazing guest designer for this collection who has been putting in some stunning samples. And I don't know if she's found her way back to us, but it's our lovely Sue Davis has stepped into the breach to help us with samples for this one. And they are stunning. Thanks, Sally, love. And I've just got 2 of Sue's amazing samples next to me here, which I will show you in a second. Because it's a fabulous Olga collection, you'll see we have some rub-ons. So the full collection is, we've got 2 A5 stamp sets, which I will show you in my next video. These 2 A6 stamp sets, a set of rub-ons, beautiful 8x8 papers. You know how stunning Olga's papers are, and some stencils as well. So it's a really lovely big collection. The whole concept is carried through all of it. As always, you'll be able to get individuals on Create and Craft, and then of course the bundle will carry the biggest discount, and I will share all that information with you. I don't think it'll be live on Create and Craft for pre-sale until Monday, so that's why I thought actually I'll share the details of this whole collection with you at the weekend, because it can be a bit frustrating if you see it all and you can't get it right away. And I'm just trying to get these rub-ons out of here. So as always with our, not all as always, but with this set of rub-ons, we've got 4 sheets. And as you know, with the Christmas collection and other rub-ons we've been doing recently, this will give you really good flavor of what the paper pad kind of will look and feel like. So you've got really large rub-ons here with your kind of, you know, grungy cassette tapes with lots of distress watercolory elements to them. You get ghetto blasters, your records with the musical notes coming out of them. So of course this is like one of those, if you want to use it as a full image, it's like an A6, but of course you could cut this down and use it in smaller pieces as well. You've got I just love the colors with this. Olga is amazing with her ability to kind of give us both vibrant colors, but just take the edge off them so they're not too poppy. They're more they've got a slightly sepia tinge to them. So you've got, for example, your rainbow of notes here, but it's not neon rainbow. It's got a real depth to the color. The other thing she's been playing with her rub-ons recently is some of them are transparent. So this is a good way of showing you on this, for example. So you see where the white is, that will give you solid color. But then you see all these musical notes here, they are transparent, as in there is no white opacity behind them. So they can give you a really subtle overlay on top of maybe acetate or on top of papers, because you won't get, you'll see everything that's behind them. So she's really kind of pushing the format of rub-ons as we go. Fabulous set of electric guitars. You've got your kind of your ghetto blasters and your drum kits. Just is cool, isn't it? I mean, this is my kind of thing as well. So, you know, I always hate to make the noises about masculine makes, because I love the look of this stuff as well. So again, headphones, all with these watercolor drips and things, and then your records. So when you see the 8x8 paper pad, you're going to absolutely recognize that this kind of this styling of these rub-ons works perfectly. And I know I'm getting you all into rub-ons now, because I'm seeing more and more posts of you all kind of starting to say, oh yeah, they're actually really good. So I'm determined to continue with the rub-on addiction and continue to kind of grow everybody's enjoyment of all the things they can do with these. As I said, I've only got 2 of the A6 stamps here with me. I knew if I had it all in the room, I'd show you all. You know how easily persuaded I can be. So I've deliberately kept a very small sample of the collection. But both these A6s, this is a single image. This is a single image, a bit like very much like Olga often does for us. It's going to give you that great kind of collage background all in one. So you can imagine this with that fantastic set of cassettes that I was showing you at the beginning, you know, just effectively it's kind of almost like the same image, but one in color and one in the kind of the stamp, which of course is a you know, you can keep that forever and keep using it. Yeah, are we all talking about trying to record things off the radio? I totally did that all the time. Then again, has technology moved on? I mean, let's face it, I can't even manage to keep my live on air. So this is just a little flavor, but definitely tune back in when I tell you that I've got my YouTube video live, because you'll see the whole collection, and of course get to enjoy the samples that the design team have made, because we don't get to bye Christine, thank you for coming back though, lovely. We don't really get to enjoy them, I think, on TV as much as you know, the work that goes into them deserves. So I do like to be able to share them with you here. So these are just 2 makes from our Sue, but she's got more, and I've got obviously more from Sarah and Brian as well to share with you. So this is inspired. So she's done it like a single sleeve. So here, of course, you're seeing some of the papers. Look at those. So she's made like a record sleeve, and then inside we've got then the record itself, and she's used the stamps behind acetate, the rub-ons. So she's made like a shaker record. You haven't missed loads, Donna. The good news is that I'm not going to show the whole collection tonight. I'm going to record a whole reveal of the new Turn It Up collection along with samples, and I'm going to share that over the weekend. So you'll be able to see it all in one take without me waffling on about everything else, and then you'll be able to leave comments after that live to be in with a chance, after that video to be in with a chance of winning this collection. Then here's another one from Sue. Look at this. I mean, isn't this amazing? So you can see here how the rub-ons have come into their own on the acetate windows, the stunning papers. She's got loads of stitching on her samples as well. You can still get record vouchers, Jane. Absolutely. I buy them every birthday and Christmas for Mr. G. Wouldn't it be great to be able to present record vouchers with a card like this, or in a kind of holder that you've made from these papers? So it is an amazing collection, and I hope I hope you'll come back and see the whole reveal at the weekend and tell me what you think of it. And say I will be live on Create and Craft on Tuesday. That is the 23rd, isn't it? As always, with headliner hours, 8 a.m. Midday and 4 p.m. for those shows. But I'll be sharing more with you. They're not going to be on sale on Create and Craft until Monday. So we've still got plenty of time to really kind of go through everything that's in this collection. It's a cool one. It really is a cool one. I say initially Olga was like, oh, I'm not sure about it. And then by the time she'd finished the collection, she went, yeah, you're right. It is really cool. She has to admit I'm right sometimes. So yeah, beautiful samples from Sue. More of those to follow. It is a stunning, stunning collection. Make sure I don't get a landslide there. The demo that I was going to do was using I'm not going to do it live, Adele. I'm going to record it on Friday and then put it up on YouTube and tell you all when it's available to view. So hopefully either Friday evening or Saturday morning in my newsletter, I will tell you with the link to the YouTube video so you can watch it then at your leisure. Yes, I was going to do a quick demo with Poetry of Trees. Now, I know we're pretty much out of stock of Poetry of Trees, but that's the whole reason why I started this live by saying that I want our kind of lives and this community to be about enjoying the products as much as it is about always promoting the next things for you to buy. And I know so many of you have got it. And there was a lovely lady who was chatting to me at Doncaster. I don't know if she's on tonight. I think she was called Jill. If you're on, please do let me know if I got that right. And she was saying she would like more inspiration on using the stamp set with this collection because she'd bought it, but in the live shows we didn't really get a chance to have a play with these stamps. And I thought, good shout. Let's no, you haven't got yours yet, Adele. I packed it today. So yeah, I thought let's have a look. And I know, I mean, I've also been making amazing things with this collection already and making you all jealous that she's got hers already. I know you'll all have loads more ideas than I do, but what I thought I'd do is just kind of talk you through a little bit about my thought process in using stamps like this, because they're unusual, aren't they? They've got a geometric element to them, and then they've got the tree silhouette. So you immediately kind of start to think, okay, well, what actually will I do with these when I get them home? Did you not get the stamps, Carol Ann? They only dropped on Tuesday. I tell you, I don't know where they were lurking on the Create and Craft system, but they literally only appeared on my computer on Tuesday. And I contacted Create and Craft and said, where have all these come from? Anyway, enough said. So what I wanted to do is I made two fabulous this is some of my homework from Doncaster. So when I was demoing on the stand, I made lots of backgrounds or half cards. Oh, Donna, Brian started that, didn't he? Honestly. I'm absolutely looking into it. I'm thinking I've got an idea for something I'd like to do later this year, which those the tree silhouette dies would work brilliantly for a stamp. So your pleas have not fallen on deaf ears. I'm having a look into that one for you. So here are two backgrounds that I made with our fabulous stencils. Stencils aren't a problem other than Wild. Wild has gone wild and is literally out of stock at the moment. So I'm getting some more made urgently. but it's the only stencil that currently you can't get from the collection. So here I used our Forest Foliage stencil with the glorious Stella Pace, and I used a mixture of them on here. So I used some Spellbound and some Ruby Slippers. So I was just showing people that you could use a combination of the colours on the same stencil to get great effects. So how beautiful is that? It looks like autumn on a card. And then on this one, I've used our Skeleton Leaf, but I've used it with Peeled Paint and Rustic Wilderness, I think, the Distress Oxides. Again, I was just trying to think about this collection taking us through the seasons. Need more trees, matching stencils on. Oh my Lord, Ali, you want a whole new collection. So these are both beautiful, but then there's a question of how am I going to use my stamps to really kind of create focal points that are going to work. This one has got some white space on it, so this one isn't as much of a challenge. This one has got a lot going on, so how am I going to be able to use something like this over the top of a background like this one with the Stella Pace and then not get lost? So first up, I'll go with the easier option, and one of the things I often like to do when I've got beautiful kind of artwork or imagery in the background is use vellum, because it's not going to hide everything. And I'm deliberately not using the papers because the papers are sold out, and I'm waiting for some more of those too. So we don't need to worry. We don't always need to have our papers to hand. I'm going to work with the stencil backgrounds because I didn't want to annoy you all with papers when they're not available. And stamped one of the beautiful images from Poetry of Trees in Olive Grove. There it is, which is part of our Mediterranean trio. Heads up, I've reduced the price of this on the shop, so I think it's down to just £10 now. And this, I'm just going to say it, is and actually I think I put it on the TV as well. The palette of this is a perfect match with the Turn It Up collection as well. So definitely recommend that as a trio that you're going to be able to use alongside both Turn It Up, but also, of course, you've got your beautiful earthy colours of nature that are going to work with your Poetry of Trees too. So I have stamped this image onto some vellum, and let me just show you that in action. I'm looking around wondering where I put my Eureka. It is here, but it looks beautiful, doesn't it? And this is the thing when you've got kind of stenciling in the background and you don't want to cover it all up. I just think vellum's always a really good shout, and of course it would look great with a torn edge too, but I have just used a guillotine to give me a nice crisp edge on this. So I'm just nosing at comments as I set up my Eureka. I know, I try. It's funny with the embossing powders because obviously it's called Mediterranean Moods. It went beautifully with our Mediterranean collection, which we had on probably a few months ago now, with a beautiful kind of Mediterranean palette. But of course, look at that terracotta, isn't that gorgeous? It's a lovely, lovely palette for working with so many other collections, and I'm kind of almost regretting calling it Mediterranean Moods because I wonder if that will kind of cause people to think, oh yeah, but it won't go with other things I have, and it absolutely will. So in fact, we'll see with this Olive Grove, it's got some beautiful golds in with that green, so it's a beautiful kind of rich color. The other embossing powder that I would recommend it as in one of my embossing powders with this with the trees would be Summer Twilight, and I've literally got a handful. I've probably only about 5 or 6 left on the shop. That trio, because if those of you who've got it or remember it, you've got that Verdant in there, which is a darker green, more like a rustic wilderness green, and that's got gold speckles in as well. So that's a great one to use with these images. So the challenge with vellum and your photopolymer stamps is, of course, it's lifting them. The risk is of it lifting the vellum. So of course, if you have your vellum really butted right up to the edge, if it does get lifted and you need to go back and restamp, you can at least reposition your vellum and know you're going to get that repeat image, which I'm sure you all know. So let's use some embossing powder. Yeah, I do too, Del, but it is one of those things where it's sometimes you think, oh, maybe I've kind of created a false limit there in terms of what people think it's designed to do. So and the reason why that, of course, the vellum can get lifted with this stamp is we've now just put a sticky ink on it for an embossing ink. So of course that's going to add further kind of pressure to try and lift the vellum with the stamp. A pigeon stamp, Donna. Did you just say you want a pigeon stamp? Well, I've not been asked for one of those before. Like a cartoony pigeon, like a character pigeon. I'm intrigued. Right. You can see that it's lifted as we've gone. I think I've got it there. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's pretty much there. So we'll add our powder. And then the other thing with vellum, when you are heat setting it with your embossing powder, is make sure you kind of have your heat already set to the to the hottest temperature, and that I didn't use an anti-static, did I? So you're probably all shouting at the PC to do that, because of course vellum can be a bit staticky. Is make sure you've got your heat gun at the kind of the best temperature possible for melting the powder, so you're not subjecting the vellum to heat for too long. I don't think we've quite got all this image, but I've got one already perfect. So, and I think this will look cool against, we'll show you on the black, because you'll see the lovely colours. You feel the detail. Ooh. It does turn really quickly on vellum, which is great. Of course, the heat passes through it quickly. But can you see? Can you see the kind of color, the variation of colours in there? You've got some of the golds, the earthy greens. It's a really lovely, lovely embossing powder. And it's giving you a nice crisp image. It hasn't lost detail either. So let's say ignore the bits that I've got, which I'd have brushed off if I was looking to use this one as the final version. But we already have one. I knew I'd be jabbering on for far too long. We wouldn't get necessarily as much time for demo as I want. So I did do one in advance, whilst trying to pack orders at the same time. So I'm going to maximize the white space, as in having my image off to one side. So we're going to enjoy the stenciling in this corner, and all I'm going to do is just fold this over There we go, just to adhere it round. There we go. A few dots of glue. Yeah, I do that as well. Sorry, I'm responding to Nicola's comment about using your distress and then you clear on vellum. The only thing sometimes is, well, it's a great thing in that it gives you a different look. I find sometimes that gives you much more of a translucent look, whereas sometimes obviously the solid colours that your embossing powder, your opaque embossing powders will give you slightly more solid coverage, if that makes sense. How cool is that? And then what I love about vellum when it just kind of is being folded over is it still sits a bit proud, so it's floating over the card. So, oh, I don't know, let's stick this down onto some green card as our mat. And then what I'm going to do is add a word to this to complete this card. So that's one of the ways I often use a stamp where I want it to be the focal point, but equally I don't want but I've got a lot going on behind it, so I don't want it to get lost in relation to the stenciling I've already done. Now, where did I put? I had some words already done. Have I got them anywhere? Have I? Heck, one of those nights, everybody. Isn't it just? I wonder where I put them then. I'm not going to stamp and colour them again because oh, here they are. Just because I want to get onto the other one. So I've got my wood grain, my washi tape, beautiful washi tape from the Timeless Traditions. I've been using a lot of this wood grain. And then I've got a fine piece or trees are poems of the earth writes upon the sky. And I've just gold heat embossed both of those. I think I might use this one. I do like this statement. Yes, you're right, actually. It's a really peaceful kind of set, Shannon. And the pleasure, I mean, I really, this weekend, just having time on the stand, playing with the stencils and thinking about the imagery, it genuinely is one of those collections that, regardless of the recipient, regardless of the time of year, you'll find some way of being able to make use of this. Oh, crikey, these are rather intimidating scissors. Didn't expect to pull those out of the drawer. Now, yeah, I'm just gonna now, but by adhering my sentiment down, of course, it will be a further way of making sure my vellum's secured and it isn't kind of floating too far above the top of the artwork. So just having that overlap will mean that these elements are all connected. Your eye will follow them around, but you've still got lots of white space on the card, and I think that's a really cool look. So how pretty is that? You got to the edges with them. I know they were slightly intimidating, those scissors. I didn't even know I had them. I wonder if they're fabric scissors. And they're Tim Holtz tonic ones, but I have no idea where they came from. So that's a really cool look. And the other one I'm not going to do fully because I really do feel like this has been a bit of a kind of a hectic live for you all. But the thing I'm going to do here with this one, and this is the thing that I was saying to the lovely lady at Doncaster, is when you've got a stamp set like this, you've got your geometric shapes, so you can use those, use those to kind of find ways of creating dimension or highlighting elements. So you could just colouring the diamond. You could mask the diamond and then do the colouring around that kind of central part of the stamp, so you're looking into the artwork. So the geometrical elements around these particular images, I think, give them lots of versatility. And so what I started to do, and I didn't get to finish it all in the time I was prepping from packing orders, was love this background, but we're going to need to break it. There's too much going on here for me to be able to see a focal point on top of that. So what I have got is two, the A6 tree ring stamp, which was again super popular. I think I've got a few of those left, and I did the classic, stamping with distressing, spritzing, letting that color bleed, and then going back in once that layer was dry, going back in with your VersaFine Clair to add the detail back in. And I think they look really cool. So why have I got two circles here, two log slices? I'm looking to echo the circles in this image. Now this is loads of it. This is more detail going on top of details. There's a lot going on there, isn't there? But what I've done here is I have cut out, I might decide I don't need these actually. I haven't made my mind up yet. I've cut out this main image, and that just by actually kind of, to be fair, by being kind of monochromatic, that's already kind of jumping to the front. So it maybe doesn't need this breaker between it, but I'm going to keep it for now. I'm thinking aloud. But what I want to do is make sure this has even more dimension. And there's no way I'm cutting that with these. Let's get a smaller pair of scissors. So you could colour these. I know. I don't think I've had the necessary training to use these scissors, Jane. My plan, if I had more time, and I will finish this and share a picture, is I would add colour to each of these circles that are sitting behind the tree. But then I will also add my layers by cutting around one of these circles and popping that up. Now I'm not going to try and go around the tree, because the black tree as my base image will still look complete. I hope I'm making sense to you. So I'm just going to go around this main circle here. Let's say I will colour these in and share a picture. And you'll see what I'm getting at. I hope. I'm so glad. I genuinely am so glad you all like this collection as much as me, though. Because it wasn't even a headline, was it? Let's see. I think I will go around this one as well. So just cutting away the bottom circle. Trying to cut both accurately and fast. So by popping this up on some dimension, we'll be able to bring this even further forward. And what I will do next is go one step further and add. So I have stamped and clear heat embossed this image 3 times, and the reason I've clear heat embossed it is I definitely will go in with watercolor. So I know that will make it super forgiving, because the watercolor will just kind of be resisted by the embossing powder, and I can just give it a nice easy wash of color. So that will go on top of there. And I'll cut both of these circles. So this will be now the top layer. You've seen decoupage plenty of times, haven't you? But that's the thing, is look at your stamps and look at ways that you could break them down. What's at the front? What are the easy shapes in there? What are the shapes that kind of the stamp design is already giving you to work with? And that's what that's why I deliberately went for this collection with the geometric elements to it, because I just thought, actually, you don't need to do lots of fussy cutting. The shapes around the trees are going to give you a load of things to work with. So I know this will look really flat because obviously you're looking face down at it, but when I add the colour and then I pop these up with my foam tape, can you see how that background, that stencil background, is receding every time? And just by adding some colours to this, I'm going to have a lovely autumnal design, because I'll work with the colours that the texture paste, the Stella paste, has already given me, and I'll use that to inform the colours on the main image. And then we'll have Find Piece and the remains of that washi tape, which I've obviously just got rid of. It is the washi tape there, so that lovely wood grain. And how I mean, obviously I've got 2 stencil backgrounds ready to go, and that's one of the things we always do. Well, I often say is a great way of working is, if you're not feeling inspired, play with your stencils, make your backgrounds in lots of different colour combinations, and then come back at another time and add your focal points on the top when you're feeling inspired to do so. We're saying that these stamps would only work for a lumberjack. In a forester, you don't want to be, you wouldn't have been a forester, Ali. That'd be cutting the trees down. So you can see how Fine Piece in the corner there. So I think I will keep my tree rings in the background, because I like the fact that it's extending out the circularity of it. You could matte and layer them onto dark brown so they stand out from the background even more, but actually it looks really cool in real life. And I'm just going to add some colour to this when I go off air, and I'll post it as a finished make, just to give you another way of using your stamps. I think it looks pretty good in black and white, to be fair. I'm not, you know, I'm kind of, I could be persuaded just to leave it as black and white, but I think the dimension will come through better when we use some colour with it. So 2 very quick ways of making sure you get that A5 stamp set out, unless you're Caroline who didn't buy it. Getting that A5 stamp set out. I know we all love the papers and the stencils and so much in that collection to enjoy, but do not neglect the stamps, because there's a load you can do with it. Right, now, if we've got our lovely Ali back from being a lumberjack, is she going to give us 2 names to win the wonderful 2025 calendar? And I will then love you and leave you. I will record a run through of our Turn It Up collection, so you can enjoy that over the weekend. And a big thank you to you all for your support so far with Funky Fossil. And I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to kind of carry on growing the brand and sharing the kind of community that we built around the Funky Fossil over the coming months and years, even without TV as one of the platforms that we use, because there's lots of other ways that we can all connect. Now, has Ali shared some winners? And she messaged me. She often then messages me, and I always ignore her. Is she messaging me tonight, or is she putting it on the group? She's put it on the message. So Jan Riley from Facebook and Gillian Hughes from YouTube, you're both going to be winners of the 2025 calendar. I will put your names on the Facebook group as well, just in case you're no longer on the live. And then I'll ask you to send me your address so that I can personal message me your address so that I can get those in the post to you. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for bearing with me. Sorry about the crash midway. But I'm so glad you came back and saw me have a bit of a play with Poetry of Trees. I shall see you and be chatting with you over the weekend, no doubt. And then, yeah, Create and Craft on Tuesday for the headliner of Turn It Up. Good night and many thanks again. Oh, and a very happy 40th to you, Therese, as well. See you all soon. Bye for now.